Hello everyone, Michelle here from the Creative Cove. Thanks for joining me today. Welcome to my messy little craft space. It's that time of year where everything gets dumped and forgotten and neglected and then suddenly rediscovered again. So I was playing with some scraps and I came up with some fun little scrappy cards, scrappy Christmas cards with a little tuck spot inside for a gift or a recipe or whatever it is you'd like to give. Maybe you're a baker, which I wish I was, but I am not. You would kind of give this card with maybe something you've baked in the recipe and tucked inside, or gifts or whatever it is you want to give. You can also omit that part where you don't include the, and it's just a card. So I thought we would make these today. And then last night I was thinking it would be kind of fun to somehow recycle the card if I were to receive it. So if I got this card or give this card, I would like to make it so that we could cut the recipient could cut the lines out, and I'll show that later because I think we're going to build that today, and then it becomes a bookmark or something, so you get a little bit more use out of the card because they take some effort to make, and I think they're really pretty, so it's a good way to use it up. So let's make some, shall we? So grab your scraps, grab whatever you've got handy, your watercolors. This is a little book that I've been using. Just kind of pull off some papers here. So this is the foundation of my scrap, and then I kind of build off of it. So this is a little bit too plain. Let's grab another one with some writing. You're also going to need a 12 by 12 sheet is what I've been using of Christmas paper. This came out of a Michael's pad, so I think this is the only one I have left. And what I do is I just kind of glue it. So if you have let's say you have an envelope, you know, you recycle your envelopes or something and you want to send the Christmas card in an envelope, then I would probably cut all this down to a certain size, knowing that it would fit in that envelope. But I'm going to omit the envelope today and just focus on the card. So I'm just tearing off some edges just to kind of rough it up a little bit. And kind of make it a little older looking. So I think I'll use these two here. Just want to make sure I'm in frame. Move up a bit. Like I said, I have stuff everywhere on my desk, but nothing new there for me. You guys know me long enough. You'll know I'm a bit of a crafting slob, and that's okay. So I'm going to glue this guy down. You can ink them, of course. I'll probably ink a few pieces. But I just kind of start wherever. Let me think here. Sorry, I want to start on this side because I'm going to fold the card. So I made these a couple of days ago and trying to remember how I made them. And I'm just going to slap this down so that I'll get two cards out of this full sheet. And then I'm going to find some more random scraps here. And let's chop this off. Maybe another piece. And let's get some ink out. So this one is my antique linen. So we'll use this guy. I like things a little bit rustic looking. Kind of old looking. That's just my style. And while that's wet, we can rub it a little bit inside the card. Rub a little bit on the pieces we just glued. Okay, got those. What else have we got? We've got these stickers here. Put a couple of these down. So as you can see, I tend to gravitate towards neutral colors. This guy. And what else do we have? Some sheet of papers here. That's pretty. And let's do a different one. So just using up whatever you've got. These little pads of papers are really, really handy. I like these. Here's another piece of paper. So just accumulate a few, and then I'll glue them down. figure out where I want them. So I'm trying to bear in mind the size of the card. And again, if you were to use this for an envelope that you want, let me get another piece of paper here so don't get glue all over the card. You would kind of sketch out the size of the card that you want to make so you don't make it too big to fit in your envelope. I'm just going to create a little bit of a, oh, there is 2 sheets. That's what's throwing me off. Kept seeing that roll up. You are going to create kind of just a cluster of random papers. I don't have anything specific in mind. I'm just kind of gluing as I go. Am I in frame? So this is rolling up a bit. I need to find something a little firmer to put under this. Let's see if I've got something here. Yes, I do. Let me slide this under. So I have something to press on. Okay. And then maybe this guy. So this is a peel and stick paper, which is pretty handy if you're good at peeling. There we go. And I just create off-centered clusters. That's just happens to be something I like to do. And then I'll do another one here. It's fun to kind of switch it up a little bit so they're not all the same. So maybe I'll go this way on this one. Something like that. I'm so not ready for the holidays yet. I haven't even started Christmas shopping. I've had no motivation whatsoever to Christmas shop this year. Just not feeling it. I know that the mood will hit me though. It will suddenly wake up one morning and be like, yep, time to shop. Time to get her done. It just hasn't been yet. I'm still not feeling the best, but every day looking forward to feeling better. I've got another couple of months to go on antibiotics, and then I should be good to go after that, I hope. So that might have a factor when it comes to not feeling the best. So here's some watercolor scraps, and I just have a couple of, they're not even cut straight, they're just literally scraps. So I thought we could use those, and we'll paint something. Let's do it. Let's do it. So I'm going to move these guys out the way for a sec so I don't get paint all over them. And then we'll just do 2 simple watercolor paintings, nothing too elaborate. Just something festive. Get my brushes here. So I'm using my Michele paints, my 52 color water set, and my Craft Ammo brushes here. I think I'm going to use a pretty big one. That's too big. I haven't put my other ones away. That one might work. Feels like it might be a little too small. Problem is I use my brushes, I wash them, and I put them down, and then I never put them away. So they're probably sitting randomly on my desk here somewhere. It's no surprise, really, if you're watching my channel, how disorganized I can be. That's my life. It's just how I roll. Let's see, where's my paper towel? Here we go. Just need a piece of paper towel. Okay, so we'll do something relatively simple. Let's do some berries, because I love my berries. So I'm just going to use this permanent red. Not doing anything too elaborate here. Ooh, that is a beat up brush. Let's chop that off with my ginormous scissors. There we go. Okay. Sometimes a little rough on my brushes. Okay, every time I'm a little rough on my brushes. Yeah, that brush is a bit beaten up. Let's go with a bigger brush. So I'm not sure what's number 5 it says. A little bit bigger. And the bigger the brush, the faster the painting, really. It's just a question of if you're comfortable using something this big for something so small. And as you can see, I'm going in with a pretty big saturation. I'm not using too much detail on these paintings. They're just meant to be a quick festive Merry Christmas card. So you can go as elaborate and detailed as you like. For me, I'm just keeping it relatively simple. So I'm going to clean that off, and I'm going to go, say, with a darker brown here, and maybe a little bit of the green, and just kind of create a darker red, and drop that in down the bottom here, just for a little shaded area, a little interest. I'll put that aside to dry. What should we do on this one? We'll do, let's do more berries. I think we'll do more berries, but once we'll do a different, what should we do? I didn't think about what I want to do on these. I kind of go by the seat of my pants. So I'm just going to do some more. I love painting berries. They just make me happy. And I love the bright red. So I'm just going to do a few other berries in this one. I mean, you can do the same image over and over again. They're all going to different people, these cards. So if you don't get a perfect circle, just add another berry beside it, like I just did. No biggie. Striving for perfection. We're just having fun crafting away. All right. Go and clean my brush, and we'll start with some green. So let's go into this pretty green here. I want to make sure I'm on camera here. I haven't filmed in a while. My last couple of films I did, I thought I would voice them over, and the voiceover was a disaster. So I had to delete those videos, and I just haven't had time to come back and make more till today. So here's a little bit of holly going in. I'm going to stay away from the berries right now, just because I know they're still wet. And I don't want that muddy look on this one. So I'm just going to drop in the green. Kind of create that pointy holly feel. We'll do maybe one more green here. I'm going to try and refilm those videos and release them all before Christmas. So I feel like I said I was going to do it, and then I started, and then the voiceover didn't work. It kept, I couldn't figure out on my app how to mute the background. So I had to delete the videos, because you could hear me talking to my son, and I had uploaded one and realized that was awful. So I had to get rid of that one. And while that one was being uploaded, I recorded another that also didn't work. I'll leave that there for a sec, let that dry. And then this one, maybe we'll do just some kind of thin lines. Again, I'm staying out of the berries for a second. See what happens when you touch them. They'll bleed. Let's see if I can remove some of that red. I don't mind a little bit of the bleeding effect, but I don't want a red line there. And then a little bit more here. Okay. So we're going to let that dry a little bit longer. Okay, so these guys are dry now, so we can add just a little bit more color into the greenery here. Maybe go with a bit of a darker green. Let's see this one here. Just trying to give it a little bit more depth and interest. Again, I like to do black marker when I'm done. I like the look of that with my watercolors. So a little bit of something in here. And I'm not loving how this kind of all sits and swirls out of one spot. So I'm going to see what I can do with that. I don't love this green either. Let's see here. Let's wash some of that away. So I wonder if I can add a berry on there without looking too dark. Let's see if I can throw a berry on there. That works. It was just a little too perfect for my taste. So I'm going to, hopefully this is dry enough. I can kind of add my black scratches too. I just like that look. I find it makes it just a little bit more dramatic. And I find it really pops the colors. I can define the berries a little bit. Which one's in front, which ones are in back. I'll put this guy in front. And of course you can do that with shading and all that stuff too, if you really want to take your time building up these fun little watercolors. But I'm just having fun doodling here. So that one in the middle is still very wet. So I'm going to leave him for now. And I'll come back and finish drawing this out a little bit. So let's go back to the cards. And again, you can do as many or as few of these as you like. Where did I put my cards now? Here they are. So I don't like the bright white, so I want to tone it down a little. So I'm going to use some distressed ink here, and it is antique linen that I'm using. So I like to rub around the edges, and then I take my blending tool, which is on the desk here somewhere, because I just used it. All right, here we go. Maybe I didn't just use it. I found it. I'm just going to rub that color in to subdue that white paper just a little bit. I want a little bit of white, but not tons. So I was thinking about the bookmark. So I want to keep the composition narrow, and I might offset it so that if I were to cut a bookmark out, I would get a little bit of this, all the papers. So if I put it in the middle here, I'd probably lose a bit. So I'm going to off-center it, I think, to about there. Let's see if I've got some decent glue handy, and see if I can glue this guy down here. Now, I left this open the other day, so it's probably pretty bad. And do I have a brush? So it won't squeeze out because it started to dry, but I'm going to brush it on. I want a little heavier duty glue because this watercolor paper is pretty thick. And I want to make sure it's adhered well. So I'll go off the side a little bit. I'm going to glue this down even though it isn't completely dry. Dunk my brush in there. Oh, I forgot to ink this. We'll do it after. No panic. So a significant amount of glue. And then try to figure out where to put this so that I get a decent bookmark out of it, I think, right here. And then I like to add words to my Christmas cards. So I have printed off some of these, and I've used them in previous videos. And I really like these red ones. So this is from My Porch Prints. Let me just put the lid back on this before I knock it over. So something fun. So a Joy and Peace is nice. My massive scissors. Look at the size of these things. I think they're tailor scissors. You know what's really weird is I have no idea where they came from. Just look at them. They're huge. I don't know where I got them. What else have we got? Let It Snow, Merry and Bright, It's a Wonderful Life. Let's use that one. So I'm cutting them a little bit thinner because I think I'm going to give them a red outline like I did in my original cards that I showed you at the beginning. Chop. Okay, so in order to do that, before I go any further, I don't have any red paper, so I need to watercolor this a little bit. Let's move this out of the way before I drip red everywhere. I forgot to do that, so let's do that so they have time to dry. And I'm basically just watercoloring this watercolor paper with the bright red that I'm going to use to frame those words. So you can always make the color paper you need. Okay, so we'll let that dry for a second while I cut the rest of these out with my massive scissors. 1, 2, and this one. Joy and Peace, which we could all use a little bit of right now. Okay, so while I'm waiting for that watercolor paper to dry, let's fold the cards and cut them. So I'm going to fold it where I like how the layout looks on the card. Try and fold it straight. Just use my nail here to squeeze it down. And then what I like to do is fold this over to the edge of the card. Push that down. And now I'm going to cut the card before I make it too thick to cut. And for this case, I will use my cutter so that I cut it relatively straight. Again, I'm not measuring. I'm just going off the distance of the cards that I created. They might end up the same. Wow, almost. Okay. So now I'm going to take this, I'm going to fold it in, and then I like to fold it again just to give it a little bit of pressure here, a little bit of reinforcement. And that again is the tuck spot inside the card. So you can tuck, again, whatever you like, recipes, money, gift cards, whatever it is you're giving. Where is my hole punch? Now this hole punch, this poor thing has seen much better days, so it may not cooperate for me. It's getting very dull. So I just punch out a little section here just to make it obvious that this is a pocket. So they can see that, oh, there might be some goodies in there. It's good for like a co-worker too, or a teacher, and you just put a treat in here, or a neighbor, postman, the garbage guys, whoever you feel like giving to this holiday season. I'm just going to glue that down, and then I like to use double-sided tape to adhere the pocket. And just slap a piece down on the edge, peel that up. Any second now. There we go. There we go. And then just fold it down. So now I have a pocket. And again, you can ink all this as well. You can round the corners, whatever you like. But I thought what could be fun is this dry? Oh, not quite. Is inside the card, you could make a line here. So let's measure it. It's probably the best way to do it. Find my ruler. Here's a ruler. So if I were to measure the center here and I did 3/4 of an inch, that would take me to here. So go in 3/4 of an inch off this side. And then how far off this side do I want? It went to there. So I want to go to about here. So I want to go whatever that is, 2 3/8. Just going to make a line on my ruler. It's my math skills. Where was it? Right here. So then I would draw a line, kind of like just a little kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Just make it look like a cut line on the card. This, and then try and go straight on this side. You can do this in pen, of course. And this is just a little idea to kind of reuse the card a little more. So you put your greeting here, and then in neat writing that I don't have, and you can write cut for bookmark. And then you put like a little, and then you can write a message in here too for their little bookmark. So there's the card. I'm going to cut it. So you could even put like a hole at the top here and a bow so that the bookmark would be, should we do that as part of the card? Let's do that. Let's see what it looks like. So if I were to put a hole up here as and trying to decorate it as part of the card, let's go center here. Make sure I'm centered in the bookmark. And then maybe a grommet if I can find them. Here's one. And then you could put whatever through there too, like you can really be elaborate and put maybe some, what's the word I'm thinking of? Some, I haven't used this in a long time. I can't remember how to use it. I think it's this way. Some bead accessories here for the bookmark, so it could hang over the book. But in my case, I'm just going to use string because I didn't think of that till just now. So yeah, the imagination just keeps going and going. What have I got? Just got this little guy. Do I have any red? I got this. So you could put beads on the end of this and really elaborate the bookmark. Let's see if I can get this through. But I thought it would be kind of fun. It's not just a Christmas card. Now it can be used. It can be used for the holiday season. So if you were to put beads on this, maybe tie it a little differently too. Let's tie it differently. It's a bit bulky. So maybe just tie it this way. And like I said, I'm just making this up as I go. I just thought of this last night while I was reading a book, actually, and I didn't have a bookmark. I was like, hey, wait a minute. And then put beads on here or whatever, or little mini Christmas ornaments, whatever you've got handy. And then when they get the card with the greeting and the gift at the end of the day, they can cut this. Make sure I'm not cutting anything else. And of course your message or whatever you want would be written on the back here so they know who it's from. And there's a little instant bookmark they can use. I just thought that would be a fun way to use up a Christmas card after receiving a Christmas card. Maybe it's not for everyone. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of fun. So clearly I moved the paper here and saturated the berries everywhere, but that's okay. It's just for fun. You can kind of camouflage that a little bit by scribbling in there, making it look like it was supposed to be deliberate. But it's wet, so my pen is not working now. Try another pen. Me and my pens, eh? Need a pen sponsor. There we go. Just kind of scribble it out. Make it look like it was meant to be. Never panic. Just have fun. Nice and loose. And I did want to ink this, so I still find the white very, very bright. Where's my inker? And I better cover that up because I get in big trouble from my viewers. Cover your ink pad. Oh, if you only knew how messy I was in real life. There we go. Put that down. So there we have it. Some little Christmas card ideas using scraps, having fun little doodle, watercolor doodles. Oh, we didn't do the words. I forgot about the words. We're not done. Though if you want to leave, I totally get it. The words. So this is dry. I'll just do this one really quick. So joy and peace. So I'm going to ink that a little bit, tone it down. I'm going to glue it onto my red watercolor paper that I just painted because it didn't have any nice bright red paper. I'm going to give it a nice bright border to tie in with the berries. And of course you can make this a very personal message here too. Whatever it is you want to do. Because it's watercolor paper, I'm going to again use that thicker glue. And whenever you are designing the card and you do want to make the bookmark, just bear in mind that the wording has to fall within the bookmark. Otherwise it gets cut off. Maybe down here. Down here or down here? Let's go on an angle. Solves the problem. There we go. So again, without the paper color that I wanted, I just used a scrap watercolor paper and added some red because I didn't have any bright red watercolor paper. So there you go. There's some ideas, guys. I hope you like it. I hope it gives you some ideas on designing your cute little cards. Again, if you're a cook, you can add recipes or whatever it is you want to include in your card. So give me a thumbs up if you like this video, or if you want to see anything else similar to it, or have any ideas you would like to see on this channel. Please let me know. I'll be happy to do them. All right, guys, take care. Bye.